Good evening, everybody. It's going to be a long video. I can tell you that already. I've got a lot of topics I want to cover and a lot of information that I want to give out to y'all, so just let you know. There's probably going to be some language. I had a couple people send me some links today, and I'm not surprised because I did a video a few months ago about this and tried to warn some people, and a few of you laughed and scoffed and said it's not going to happen. Well, it's happening. And the source that I'm getting this from right now is WND, and yes, sometimes they run hot and cold, they post nonsense, but this happens to be true because I also have a link of the government's website that I'm going to send you to verify what's being said here. Basically, the UN is sending thousands of Muslims to America, and if you will remember, I did a video months ago about this and told you about these Syrian refugees that are going to be coming here by the drovefuls. So the article states that the U.S. State Department announced this week that the first major contingent of Syrian refugees, 9,000 of them, have been hand-selected by the United Nations for resettlement into communities across the United States. Hand-selected by who? And again, I'm going to ask the same questions I asked in the video I made months ago. Who is selecting them? What kind of records have you looked into as far as their background? Who's watching them when they get here? Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff that nobody seems to give a rat's ass about. So the Syrians would make up the next big wave of Muslim refugees coming to the U.S. as resettlement agencies were lobbying for the U.S. to accept at least 75,000 Syrian refugees over the next 5 years. Okay. Now, I go to the link for the government website, and you can reach this if you go to www.state.gov/P/rem/releases/remarks, and then you can find it in there. And it's talking, the headline of it is, the U.S. plans to lead in resettling Syrian refugees. And it's dated December the 9th, 2014. And it's done by Ann Richards, who is the Assistant Secretary, Bureau of Populations, Refugees, and Migration in Geneva, Switzerland. Woohoo! So glad they get to decide who we get. Thank you, Mr. Obama. Now, she talks about, we applaud the generosity of Syrian neighbors. They've opened their borders and took in refugees, blah, 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 blah. And then we get down to, we applaud the 25 countries that have agreed to resettle Syrian refugees, including some who will be accepting UNHCR refugee referrals for the first time, and I have yet to figure out what that initial stands for. The United States accepts the majority of all UNHCR referrals from around the world. Last year, we reached our goal of resettling nearly 70,000 refugees from nearly 70 countries, and we plan to lead in resettling Syrians as well. We are reviewing some 9,000 recent UNHCR refugee referrals from Syria. We are receiving roughly 1,000 new ones each month. And we expect admissions from Syria to surge in 2015 and beyond. And then you go over to, someone had put a picture up today, and I did a little research on it. Basically, the picture says, it's from a gentleman called Anjem Choudary, and it has his picture, and the quote is from him, in his words, "By 2050, Britain will be a majority Muslim country. It will be the end of freedom, of democracy, and submission to God. We don't believe in democracy. As soon as they have authority, Muslims should implement Sharia. This is what we're trying to teach people." Now, I'm not going to name names, but for the individual that apologized for me and for others who spoke to the Muslim in front of the White House, shame on you. Okay? Get educated, my friend, before you ever think about apologizing for me. And before you do, you better come ask me about it. Get your facts right. They have an agenda. They're not an illegal immigrant coming across the border like the rest of them. Muslims are a whole different category. Okay, my friend? Don't ever, ever, ever apologize for me. Not ever. I'm a big girl. I can take it. I can take care of myself. I can apologize when I need to do it too, and I do so. Don't need you to step out and do it for me. I didn't go to D.C. for you. I was there on my own with members of our group, with other patriots, okay? It wasn't a field trip. You're not the school teacher. You don't have to step in and apologize for us. You take care of yourself. Now, I did some research on this Anjem Shadari, gentleman that made that statement. He is a British Muslim. He's a social and political activist. He started a group and is a spokesman for the Islamic group Islam for UK. He's got a long history here of being involved in a lot of things. He was very outspoken about 9/11, and he praised those responsible for the 9/11 attacks and for the July 7, 2005 attacks. He supports the implementation of Sharia law throughout the UK and marched in protest at several different events. Now, here's what I want you all to understand who still think there are peaceful, moderate, friendly Muslims. I'm so freaking tired of hearing about the friendly Muslims. Sure, they're their friends now. When all these other ones get here, they're not going to be so friendly because they're going to be in numbers, okay, people? It's all about Sharia law. This is not a religion, okay? Do you understand that it's not a religion? It is a form of government cloaked in religion. Plain, simple, it's called Sharia law. This man is very up in the whole scheme of things, and he's sending out quotes like this, that by 2050, the UK will be a Muslim country, and it will have Sharia law. Why do you think they're getting into places of position like we've been talking about? Am I surprised about the refugees from Syria? No. What I'm surprised at is that so many people still have the blinders on to, it's okay, let them speak, let them be here, let them have their freedom of religion. I just want to bang my head against the wall. If you don't wake up, just for once, look at a video of the UK. Look at a video of all the other countries where these Muslims are active and they're taking bigger roles in government, and the zones, the neighborhoods that are now Sharia zones, and the neighborhoods that are sensitive, cultural sensitive zones that people that grew up there their whole lives don't even go into. Take a moment and take your freaking blinders off and watch that. Peaceful? Are you kidding me? I don't know if you saw the picture of the ring on Obama's hand that I posted today. Basically, it is in Arabic lettering, and it states that there is no other God but Allah. Now, that's not a huge surprise. Most of us who are looking and paying attention understand that this man has an agenda. Muslims are his agenda. Period. The fact that he wears that ring in our fucking White House needs to be enough for that man to be tried for treason right there. When all of these Syrians come in, we don't have jobs for our people as it is. Okay? Think about this. When Syrians come in, when all these thousands of Syrians come in, they're going to be under the cloak of refugees. You know what a refugee gets? They get 7 years of financial aid. Whether they want it or not, they have to take it. Coming here as a refugee, they have to take it. I have heard from people who work in and around that situation, and they say, I have literally seen refugees come in. They do all the paperwork. The agent says, you know, you get this much money every month for 7 years. They say, we don't need it. We're self-sustaining. We don't need it. No, you have to take it. Do you understand? For 7 years, every one of these people is going to get financial aid from you and I as taxpayers. If that doesn't make you mad, what is? What is it going to take for you to get pissed off? They're going to get health care. You and I have to pay for our health care. They're going to get health care. Let me look back here and see exactly what they're going to get, because it did state Here we go. Like most other refugees resettled in the United States, they will get help from the International Organization for Migration with medical exams and transportation to the United States. Once they arrive, networks of resettlement agencies, okay, where do they get their money? From you and I, taxpayer government money. Charities, churches, civil organizations, and local volunteers will help them and welcome them in. These groups work in 180 communities across the country and make sure that refugees have homes, furniture, clothes, English classes, job training, health care, and help enrolling their children in school. They are now preparing key contacts in American communities to welcome Syrians. People, if ever we needed to organize ourselves, it's right now. You want to talk about going and doing a rally? We need to find out where these people are going, and we need to go protesting on the doorsteps of every town hall, every city hall, every place that we can, and get the word out that we do not want these people in our communities. They are growing in numbers, and not only are they breeding here in America, now we're shipping in thousands and thousands more. Every month, every year, we're going to get more and more. If you don't think that we don't have a chance to become just like the UK, or even worse, and I don't even give it to 2050 that it happens in the UK. It's already 2014, and look how quickly they've advanced. I'm going to say it's going to happen faster than that if the UK doesn't do something. And they have less freedoms than we do, so I don't know what the crud they're thinking, what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to stop it. We still have freedoms, people. Start using them. I'm so mad right now. I think I can't even put into words my anger. My anger for what's going on in our country. My anger for people that sit behind and don't do anything. Not only do they don't do anything, they don't share information. They don't speak out. They don't help do research. They do nothing. But then they bitch when people like me and many, many, many other people try to get the word out. Don't give me that crap that Muslims have the freedom of religion. It's not a religion. Wake up. It is a form of government. Sharia law. You hear from the main man what the agenda is. That's not made up. It's a fact. You go to a website here, and it even talks about, this is another gentleman. This is a D.C. Emin declares Muslim takeover plan. Okay, and this was done on 11/10 of 2007. A Washington, D.C. Emin states explicitly on the website for his organization that he is part of a movement working toward replacing the U.S. government with Islamic State of North America by 2050. Sound familiar? They've been working at it for years. This was done in 2007. That article was written. So they've already been working on it for 7 years. I don't know what else to. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say to get you people to get motivated and to blast the hell out of this all over the internet, all over your neighborhoods. Get out and start knocking on doors. Whatever you've got to do. We've got to work together and we've got to stop this. If we don't, our grandchildren are going to be paying the ultimate price for our negligence. I am going to start a not-for-profit organization. I am going to raise funds. I am going to get a group of people, and I hope that many volunteer. That if I can get the funding for us to travel to these cities and these places where these Muslims are getting out of hand, if I can do that, I hope to God that I have many people that will lock arm in arm with me and do what it takes to get our point across. As far as building the mosque, as far as letting these people in, I have had enough. Have you? This is our country. It was based on Christianity, not Muslim beliefs. It is not a religion. It is a form of government. Stop using that excuse. God bless y'all. I've got to go. My head is pounding. I just wanted to give y'all some information. I will post links on my Facebook page so that you all can look at this stuff directly yourself. I'm not making it up. Please share the hell out of it. We have a lot of work to do, and we've got to get our asses busy. Love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.